am so ready for this one, Chris. Las Vegas, it's the matchup of the day. Are you ready to get it started? Coming out first, Green Wall fans, get ready, because here comes your heroes. It's OpTic Texas. We got who? Shotzzy and Ghosty. I give to you, OpTic Texas.
At times in the season, they have been an unstoppable force. They want to get the big prize. They want another world championship. We saw the rings on Hex's finger. That's what this team is looking for. And Ghosty, the new addition, he proved me wrong and so many other people. Can they get this victory against a major champion in front of this crowd? They look serious. They look ready to go. And the crowd wants to see them win. Let's bring out New York.
Yeah, and the crowd is going, but they got a tough opponent. Las Vegas, you can cheer or boo, but you're gonna show some respect to the Major 5 champions. Here come the New York Subliners. Oh, hell, HyDra! Give it up for Skyz, KiSMET, and Priestahh. The dog pound is here, the New York Subliners.
You can boo them all you want, but they have 2 chips on the year already, and they're looking to solidify the ring. New York Subliners, coming off of a hot Major 5 win, have continued where they left off. And I'm looking at HyDra, the SMG of the season, our #1 player in the game, to really pull them through the green wall. I'm ready to get this last match started, Blaze.
All right, I'm ready one more time today, Las Vegas. Are you ready? Lando Study, let's get it.
Let's get it, Blaze. This is going to be unreal, Jay. The energy right now in Vegas is unmatched. People are going wild, and for good reason, man. We've got OpTic Texas versus the New York Subliners. I don't feel like anybody really knows exactly how this match is going to go.
This is going to be a battle of the Titans, man. If you see the history that's went on with these 2 squads, Major 4, OpTic Texas got the better of the Subliners, but a lot has changed since then. That was a clean 3-0 for OpTic. Ever since then, New York Subliners, they host a trophy. They win Major 5. On the opposite side, OpTic Texas, they go flawless during Stage 5, but then when they get to the Major, they don't win a single match. So obviously, both of these teams are Titans in the CDL. This is going to be a battle from start to finish.
And as odd as it sounds, right, for both teams, it feels like this is a proven series. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We see New York come out, walk away with this. They are absolutely one of, if not the favorite to walk away with this. On the opposite side for OpTic Texas, Jay, a lot to prove, right?
Oh, yeah.
You take a lot away from the win versus Boston, but you're going to take a whole lot more away if they can come away and take down our defending Major 5 champs.
100%. OpTic Texas, we saw what they were capable of. Major 3, they make it to the grand finals. Major 4, they make it to the grand finals. It's just all about finding the right time to sync it all together to be on the same page. So versus a team like New York, you got to make sure teamwork, it's got to be on top.
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work. We saw for a moment our maps and modes. We're going to be staying quite a long time at Hotel. In fact, it's our first 3 maps. Let's see if we can go the distance. Maybe get out of Greenberg, but ladies and gentlemen, strap in. This is the match that we've been waiting for. This is about to be a battle. Winner of this series moves forward, top 3 guaranteed, and all kinds of cash. Jay, as we take a look at the records, give us a little bit of a breakdown. What can we expect as we fly in?
OpTic Texas, this is their best hard point. They know what it's like to play on Hotel. They got 6,000 fans in the arena behind them. The energy is insane, but here we go into the map #1. We know about P1s. It's not about fighting for a majority of this time. It's all about those next set of kills so you can win the rotation. But with the Subliners getting a clean 4 dead, 15 seconds off P1, all ready to start, you will take that.
Yeah, and we talked about it, right? When it comes down to the vetoes, for Texas especially, right? You want to see them come out, look solid off the rip. Given that New York, Jay, they love themselves some Hotel no matter what it is.
No matter what it is. They have like a 14-11 record. They played it a lot. They know what it's like to play this map, but OpTic Texas just has to do what they do best, and that's allow the SMGs to fly. That's a clean 3 dead. The spawn's now flipped. OpTic Texas currently in control.
That you put yourself in the best position possible right now if you're OpTic. You've got those spawns next for P2. However, as we say that, player 2, player 3 out of the picture, instantly things flip, and now it is New York with the current 4v1 advantage. Only player alive right now, it's going to be Huke doing what he can to stay up. New York, they sniff him out, and right now they're in possession of the time.
And that's already good work out of the Subliners because you're going up against OpTic Texas, who are the #1 in rotation win percentage on Hotel. You start off at the P2 with the early spawns. You're making the kills a lot easier, spawning OpTic Texas all the way across the map. They have not been able to contest this P2. That's already 30 seconds down, but OpTic Texas is still going to apply the pressure. Everyone through spot side. They find 3, but Priestahh finds 3 of his own. It's now a 1-on-1 in the hill.
All right, P-Dog, he's come to play a massive 1v1 inside of the hard point, and it is going to be KiSMET who takes it. So you're looking at that scoreboard and you're already seeing a massive lead accrued. Also, one thing to keep in mind, a few OpTic players once more are out of the fight. So we're talking about New York walking away with time at the player hardpoint, and again, Jay, having man count advantage at the next one.
Yeah, New York are doing exactly what they need to do. Making sure they're controlling the spawns, putting more bodies off the rotation. Now starting off with this initial time, the only player towards the back end is going to be Ghosty. He's trying to wait for his teammates to apply the pressure through the front, but Skyz reads it beautifully, cannot find a turn and burn onto Huke, but the contest is back and forth. HyDra takes down 2. Priestahh and Shotzzy are trading, but New York come out on top.
Oh my goodness, it's an all-out brawl right now inside of the kitchen. Too many cooks, but right now it is New York that are the ones frying, nearly that 100-point mark. As here comes OpTic once more, they desperately need to hop in, get some of these seconds. But Priestahh is going on a tear, and New York again come out on top in the trades as they will reach that century mark.
They are just trading so efficient right now. Everyone is in the right position to put themselves in those engagements, but New York Subliners now breach that 100-point mark. But now off the rotation, finally, OpTic Texas are going to be the team here early, but you have to focus on where KiSMET is. He's trying to make the play through back spot. He knows his teammates are going to apply the pressure through the front. Do OpTic know his positioning?
Did he just spawn there? It doesn't matter. At least OpTic are able to find him regardless if it was the smarts or if it was the given success. Texas are there to find him. We battle once more now inside of the front of the bar. But it's Priestahh, it's New York again, Jay, who are coming out on top. Last time that we saw OpTic play this map, it was on Hotel. They saw dominance over at the kitchen. They saw dominance at this hard point. The script is flipped right now. New York are doing the exact same thing that OpTic did to Boston yesterday.
Yeah, this is unbelievable, the way that New York are so far coming out swinging in this map #1. The fundamentals are in play, the teamwork, the trade, everything is going right. As they find another 3 in the feed, and they already have bodies off the rotation. So right now, OpTic Texas, they're playing from the back foot. They need to be able to cut their losses, get a great hold to try to get back into this game. They find the kill onto KiSMET, but now you have to break in towards Diner, which is not easy to do.
Jay, you said the #1 thing, right, for New York is it's really about rotations. It feels like every single time they are put in a position to succeed. OpTic struggling, but there you go. A little bit of light inside of the restaurant. We peel back the curtains, and now we'll see if Texas can start to dig deep, get themselves right back in this game. And that 40 seconds would surely do it. Battles going on around the outside. It's an instant 3-for-1 trade. Dashy's the only one here.
That's just too easy right there for the Subliners. Priestahh makes it happen, but the teammate is in. Ghosty and Shotzzy, it's now time to strike. We got to get this 25. Big time from OpTic Texas to work their way back in towards the Diner. Gonna put them at the 80-point mark, but we know going over towards this plat hill, you have to fight for kitchen control. Subliners start off with the early 2 in the feed, and now Ghosty, he's the only player in towards kitchen. You have to wait for your teammates to make a play. Him and Huke combine for 2, and now they can just sprint on forward. Potentially a couple players from New York are going to spawn on the opposite side of the map, but they get the close spawn towards mid, so they're going to be the team there first.
OpTic, you want to try to group up. On the other side for New York, you're trying to stagger the push, try to eliminate as many players from the fray as possible. It's about to be a headbutt over toward top parking, and it's New York once again coming out on top of these brawls. Another rotation 1 and kills that are very fruitful. 152 to 76. Shotzzy trying to get things going for the roster. Jay, you can tell he is struggling right now. The entirety of the team having issues finding kills.
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna have issues finding kills when you're spawning all the way across the map, and New York are fully set up off the rotation every single time. They're holding down the power positions. Your SMGs have to try to win some world star gunfights, and that's not been the case so far, but the beatdown right there from Ghosty at least takes down one, and OpTic Texas find a break with only 15 seconds left. But the Subliners, you take that. You're up 100 points. We're going to the second half of the hard points, and HyDra just earned himself a cruise.
Oh, and he's going to keep going as well. The French Phenom now at 7. We'll see if he can reach double digits. Making OpTic feel it. Oh, he wanted another. Eventually falls. 100-point advantage for New York as we reset here in hard points. Let's step aside and see how the comms are sounding with the Subliners.
Nice, no one good that spot. Yeah, nice.
One shot, nice.
Everyone.
Get C4, yes, get C4. Stick it. Yo, do not move the whole time. Do not move the whole time.
I have all right. TV. Wait, no. He's front side, laying down. Our side hill, left side. Yeah, right here.
Yes,
Are you good? Spawn.
Yo, this one.
Yep, go new. Take your time on here. They're gonna be new.
Yo, what's P4, test that.
I'm in the back.
One more, contest spawn, P4.
I'm holding the back, right? I'm holding lobby. Contest spot, lobby.
Go to spot, Dashy.
Secret.
Secret
Coming in new. Secret weak. New pillar. Watch out, absolute left side. New secret. Secret wall, guys. Watch out.
Back secret weak.
Secret wall.
I think he might push out.
You sec. I spawn mid.
He's back.
Yeah, back five.
That.
Secret one over here. Secret one time. Secret watch out, you're good. I'm blocking the back. Secret.
Every hole. Stay down for me. Stay down. Engine dead.
I'm blocking the spawn.
Yo, give me a lobby. I'm one shot. Hold my
Engine mid.
I know. Okay.
Engine dead.
Nice. Have your kids.
All mid and right. Unless they spawn.
The Subliners just continue to roll. Technically, they can still win the game over at this hard point. But Jay, I remember so early in the season when the Subliners team was seeing struggles in our Major 1 qualifiers, everybody was talking about the communication. Look at them now, right? They are rolling. Comms are fiery. HyDra is leading calls from time to time. This team that we worried about at the start of the year now is putting on an unreal hardpoint performance here on Hotel versus one of the best hardpoint teams that we have in the game.
That was just some beautiful communication, like you said, though, because HyDra, when he first joins the CDL, he couldn't even speak English fluently. He didn't know how to communicate with his teammates, but now he's directing them. Priestahh, do not move, and that leads to great time over towards P2, but OpTic Texas is still not out of this game. They're going in towards the Kitchen Hill, which was the Money Hill versus Boston Queen, but it's just too easy right now from the Subliners as they get a clean 4 dead. Only 15 seconds until they take map 1.
Yeah, if they're not rotating early, they're breaking the hard point. This is just looking to be over soon. 10 more points before we call it curtains. This has got to be one of the more dominant hardpoint losses for OpTic, unless they can find an answer, but it's another 4 down. And how about the start here from New York?
Subliners just come out and punch OpTic right in the face. They had a 16-4 record on Hotel. They chose Team A. They picked that map number 1. But the Subliners, the thing that they needed to focus on was beating OpTic Texas in those rotations. OpTic are number 1. New York Subliners are number 6, around the middle of the pack. But when you are winning every single rotation, setting up properly, winning those first engagements of those gunfights, you are forcing OpTic Texas to play a little bit different, to start to scatter their pushes, to start to scatter their breaks, to try to figure out a way in. But every single time they started trading, it was always Subliners who came out on top. 250 to 130 is the final score. I think the biggest thing that I'm paying attention to, at least off this map number 1 for OpTic Texas, is the SMGs. Yeah, we know 100%. When Shotzzy and Huke go crazy, every single time for this OpTic roster, they usually find success. A slow start to that map number 1, but no, New York Subliners just came to play early.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say, considering who you're facing off against, considering the stage that we're on, the map that we're playing, that has got to be one of the more impressive hardpoints we've seen on the entirety of the season. Just wonderful work all game long from New York, and as we called it, it just felt like every time New York was beating them to the rotation, they were making them work for 1v2 late spots. I mean, OpTic was spawning in the Old Hill time and time again, and it's kind of a collaboration of the two, it feels like, for the SMGs. put in a difficult spot just in general, but also just not living up to the slaying, considering how solid that New York was all across the board.
Yeah, the slaying is obviously not going to be there. You're not winning rotations. You're not finding success on breaks. Yeah, it's just not easy to win those key gunfights in those crucial moments because you don't have the right spot to do it. But now with OpTic Texas, find themselves down 0-1. I think the biggest thing that you need to focus on going into this map number 2, because we're still going to be on Hotel.
Yeah.
It's going to be a battle because OpTic Texas, they are great on the defensive side, second overall in the CDL, but they're going up against New York Subliners, who are second on the attacking side, and they love to get that bomb down. So that's something that you have to pay attention to if you are OpTic Texas, because you cannot allow the Subliners to go up 2-0 in this series.
No, absolutely not. We talked about both of these teams, especially the son of New York, who has been so consistent across all of our modes. I think they're, at least top 4 across every single thing. For OpTic Texas, it hasn't exactly been that way, especially in that game number 3, that we will be guaranteed to see. But the big thing for Texas is obviously that you don't want to be down 0-2 with that control up next. A big thing, Jay, that I feel like is going to be going on right now is, in fact, the communication. Coaches giving words of wisdom, players going back and forth. I had the chance to chat with Shotzzy ahead of the major, and he said, you know what? We could talk about a lot of things, major focuses for us, whether it's control, whether it's search, destroy. He said the big thing for us is communication, specifically small talk, but just in general, just remaining focused from game to game. You're going to need that right now.
Yeah, you need to let it go. You need to let that map 1 go. I know that was your map to choose, but you can't really win them all. You got to go into the search and destroy with a clear mind because the series is far from over. You have to be prepared for what New York Subliners are going to throw at you. We know how aggressive HyDra and KiSMET love to play through the middle of the map. Skyz, with that sniper in hand, can play a dividend factor in this S&D because if you remember yesterday, at least for OpTic Texas, the one map that they lost versus Boston Breach was when Beans was going absolutely insane with the sniper. So the New York Subliners, perfect game plan. You're already up 1-0. Just got to keep that momentum rolling.
Yeah, that's the scary part about New York is that you've got not just Skyz, who put up an unreal like 20 snipes in all of Major 5, but you've also got HyDra, who can snipe. You've got Priestahh, who has the ability to snipe, and I don't know if KiSMET's brought it out, but I'm sure he could too if he wanted. At the same time, though, we're talking about New York's strength. Let's talk about OpTic's strength. Yeah. Because I think it was during Major 5 where they looked unreal in Search and Destroy. What are OpTic's strengths in Search and Destroy moving into game number 2 that the audience should be focused on?
I think it's just their teamwork aspect, because you think that the way that Shotzzy moves around the map, the way that Huke moves around the map, they're probably looking like they're going to make a lot of individual plays. But it's always teamwork led by the young man, the rookie in Ghosty, setting up the plays, letting him know what he's seeing on the map so he can start to attack different angles. I just feel like when the SMGs win those key one-on-one gunfights, that's what starts it all off for OpTic Texas, because their game plan is always on point. The SMGs are going to go for the trades. The ARs are going to hold down the power positions. But when you're starting off with that first blood, that is everything. Because in 3v4 situations, you are 9th overall in the league. You can't be man down.
Yeah, absolutely none. You cannot afford to fall here if you are OpTic in the early situations. Let's go and take a look at our Monster Energy pregame here for the New York Subliners. We're talking about Skyz, right? He was a guy who has struggled in a few of these losses versus OpTic on the season. Obviously, he, as well as the rest of the team, has a solid map 1. You also, as we're talking about it, have to make OpTic pay for giving you that hotel search destroy. Jay, they have been running wild since Major 5. You're looking at the record, you're looking at the first blood percentage, and then we'll also get to it. That HyDra HP also sits quite nicely for the New York.
And that's a scary one, because if you are New York, you were able to beat OpTic on their best hardpoint. Now you know, this series is guaranteed that map number 4, where you have HyDra. You are the best team on that map. We saw them play versus Røkkr yesterday. They only held them to 66 points. That was an absolute beatdown. So if you are the Subliners, we know it's a 3-night stay at the hotel. They love themselves some hotel. So do OpTic Texas. So it's just all about those mid-round adjustments that are going to come in throughout this game, because both teams are stellar in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, that kind of reiterates back to the point that we were talking about earlier with Shotzzy. When it comes into communication, that has to be on point. And it feels like we're looking at a number of different players. We're talking about Huke, we're talking about Shotzzy, we're talking about, I don't know, maybe the number 1 Search and Destroy KD in Major 5 and HyDra, who literally dropped a 1.8. The early battles, the first blood battles, especially between the SMGs, the snipers, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be wild to see how the early stages of these rounds and maybe even the first few rounds begin to play out. If you're OpTic, you need to have some momentum. But I believe we actually have a nice little comparison that we're going to take a look at, Jay, 2 of some of the most unreal SMGs that we've got in the league, Shotzzy and HyDra.
This is perfect. This is like the perfect matchup that you want going into a Search and Destroy. I know Shotzzy's KD isn't as good as HyDra's, but what he does on the map for this team, the ground he's able to cover, the information he's able to gain with his movement, he makes plays happen for OpTic Texas. And on the opposite side for HyDra, he's just been doing it all. A little bit less better than Shotzzy in that first blood column, but when he finds himself in that power position and two players are challenging him, you best believe he's walking away with at least one.
And it's interesting too, because that could be the biggest stat that maybe we take away on that scorecard is the first blood percentage. Shotzzy does have the advantage in that category on the season. We'll see if he and the boys can try and slow down HyDra a bit. But as we said, right now, if you're OpTic Texas, you need to have an answer. Hotel Search and Destroy up next. And you can see the reps that both squads have. 7-4 for OpTic, 14-9 for NYSL. They are very practiced when it comes down to this bad boy.
And they're basically neck and neck when it comes to that first blood percentage. And that's the biggest thing that I'm focused on, because for both of these teams, they are great when it comes to getting that first blood. But when you start in a man disadvantage, OpTic Texas only have a 26% chance in the 3v4. New York Subliners, 32. But here we go into the map number 2. Subliners on the attack early. They're going back to old reliable, the 2-2 split, but look at the ground that KiSMET was already able to take. He takes Couch's control. Now he's going to give that information to his teammate to push up the middle of the map, but at least the trade comes in on Shotzzy. 3v3 now.
Now the top side of the map is going to be open for New York. Do they decide to seize and rush their way into that B site, or do they hesitate? Do they go for the roto? That's something that Huke is going to have to be prepared for regardless. Stun comes out, Huke. Solid as you'd like. He could get traded, but thankfully he does have a teammate that could come to save the day. KiSMET, for one, grabs the bomb, and Ghosty is not there for the trade, Jay. 2v2.
Skyz and KiSMET versus Ghosty and Dashy. It's a split set up right now for OpTic Texas. Same thing for the Subliners. 35 seconds left on the clock. KiSMET rotating this bomb over towards A. And Dashy's in a great position to potentially take him down. Does he get the time?
About to find out. Does Bruce peek? He does. Gets him off the bomb. Bomb not planted. Time continues to tick. In the meantime, Ghosty has been found out. And now does the bomb go for the rotation? Dashy knows exactly what's going on, but he's not ready for the mid-cross chow. Excellent work in the close quarter spots there from New York. But Jay, it just makes me think, man, if Ghosty is able to cut away KiSMET, who finds that trade onto Huke, he's not able to grab the bomb. He's not able to work through things in the 2v2. Just seconds away from what could have been a different story.
Yeah, KiSMET just made the play happen. We're talking about confidence, round number 1 in the search and destroy, where you don't have dead silence. No hesitation on his push to take mid-map control. When his team goes down 3v2, he makes the play happen, finds the trade on the Huke, picks up the bomb, gets out with his life. And even when he's going for that bomb play, he stays alive long enough for Skyz to find the kill through the middle of the map, hit that rotation for New York to take the first. And now it's OpTic Texas' turn on the attack. A whole lot of pressure in towards Diner, and HyDra, he might have just slipped on by.
See what he can do. Oh, nearly turns onto his second, but it's OpTic who comes out on top in the overall trades. Dust settles for a moment, but it's about to steam up again. Right into the kitchen we go. And will it be a duel that we save for another episode, or is about to go down? Skyz not able to take it. Gritty up close. There from Shotzzy. Priestahh makes his presence felt. A bit of info onto the other, but a 1v2 not going to be easy as that bomb does go down.
Yeah, Ghosty's just going to get it down. He knows that Priestahh's on the opposite side of the map. It's going to be about 10 to 15 seconds before he even gets on this side. Just want to play your life, force him to check every single corner. Priestahh has no dead silence. He's just flying, trying to find these guys. He might find a timing, but doesn't hit the bullets.
Okay. All right. If I'm Ghosty, I'm sweating it a little bit. Hide-and-seek champ, Priestahh. Not gonna find him, at least for now. Time continues to tick, and he is not gonna find a soul. And the time that he needs to. Ghosty making good on the prior round, ends up putting the final one to bed here. As OpTic even things up.
Great round right there out of OpTic. To find a trade immediately onto HyDra, but then to take down KiSMET, put them in the man advantage. And you know at least one more player was over towards this B site. Shotzzy plays it super patient. He's able to find Skyz and locate the final player to secure the round. Got a little scary though. If Priestahh hits a couple bullets behind that door, makes it a 1v1, potentially a chance, but Ghosty gets it done for OpTic Texas to tie it up.
Does indeed. We once again switch signs from offense to defense. Now it's New York again. with the objective on their back. We talked about a number of different snipers for this New York side. It's gonna be Skyz with it, but it's all about the close quarter engagements. HyDra already inside a top bed, evens out the numbers, 3v3, over a minute still to work with. And it could be NYSL looking for a pivot with that bomb. They're relying heavily on HyDra's positioning.
Yeah, HyDra's positioning right now. It's gonna allow them to earn a lot of information if they wanna go for this bomb plan over towards A. Now he's working his way up to the middle of the map. Bomb still approaching towards the A site. As Huke just waiting. He's just waiting for his teammates to give him the info before he decides to go on the flank. Shotzzy takes down Priestahh, 3v2 with 35 seconds.
He's got the snipe out. He's ready to try to take down the beast. Up in the bedroom, and Shotzzy, time continues to tick. Dead silence invested now from Skyz. They gotta get a move on. Is it gonna be the Roto, or is it gonna be remaining stationary at A? It's all gonna come down to this pick. Can Shotzzy once more go big for the team? They're making their way through Cat. It looks like they're gonna get to BJ. They're gonna get here in time.
Yeah, they should be able to get here in time. But OpTic Texas, they're gonna know exactly what's going on. Huke plays it super patient in towards the diner, and it leads to Shotzzy flying off the top catwalk to find a final kill. I just think in that situation, when HyDra finds himself in towards bedroom, it's still a 3v3. Let's just try to get the bomb down. You know that the double doors towards bottom luggage are going to be closed. The only opportunity I have to take you off site is from top plat and top bedroom. You were watching those angles. Just get the bomb down next time. OpTic Texas, they secure that one.
And Jay, those are those little situations that you talked to me about. The reason why HyDra's been able to elevate his search destroy game is knowing when to go for those challenges, knowing after he's found that kill, what to do in that moment. A tad aggressive, whether from him or the New York call, regardless of it, OpTic will be glad to grab these last 2 rounds. We'll see if they can make it a 3rd in a row. As Shotzzy looks to get aggressive on that 3 spree, information found, and it's 2 early picks here from New York.
At least Dashy, though, he's able to find one onto KiSMET. Gets the trade, so now it's a 2v3. The ARs for OpTic Texas. Trying to play, see what the Subliners are gonna do on their defense. It's just a scattered spread. One player towards A, one player towards B. The other guy watching the middle of the map. Dashy's just using his tactics to try to back down Skyz, but time is starting to tick in. New York Subliners, they're just waiting for the opportunity to strike.
Oh, Ghosty. Trying to peel Priestahh off that head. He ends up taking him down. Problem being is that reinforcements are lost. Subliners hunker down as they answer.
Yeah, that was just a quick round right there from New York. You apply the pressure over towards the A site. They find the initial 2 kills. And even though Dashy finds one, no one budges on their setup. Everyone was playing for the information. Priestahh takes down the first and then sets up his teammate to find the final. Such a back and forth search and destroy, all tied up at 2.
We talk so often throughout this year of MW2. SD wins chips.
Yes, it does.
SD wins championships. I know at times it hasn't really been that from title to title, but in this game, it is absolutely the case. Teams who have been winning majors this year are winning SDs at a rate incredibly high. Bruce answering more than one. He wants the double. Batman has arrived here in Hotel, arrived here in Vegas, receiving a roar of applause. We'll see if he can make it a 3rd.
4v2 now. After Dashy puts on a clinic, KiSMET and Priestahh trying to make something happen, but the bomb's going to be down over towards that P4 double desk. So now it's on KiSMET, slowly working his way up to the middle of the map. Ghosty's going to get the info and back out with his life. He sets up Shotzzy to take him down. Now it's Priestahh in the 1v4. He does take down Huke. He finds a second, but there's too many players for OpTic Texas still alive. As Dashy finds 3 on the round. Lines it up with the boomstick. Closing it out with the pistol. OpTic Texas take back in the lead.
Yeah, shit, we're talking about snipers for New York. New York's got to be prepared for this guy. Pixel perfect. Takes the head off of Caesar and has some words for Paco as well, without a doubt. The reasoning for why OpTic ends up clutching that round. And it's no surprise, you know, at times we've seen OpTic with a few different snipers on this team, but Jay, you know the talent that Dashy has with whatever weapon that he's got in his hands.
Oh yeah, that guy does not miss. He lines you up, puts you in the crossfire, he's most likely gonna hit the shot. At least OpTic Texas, now up by 1. Dashy currently on a 3 spree, just trying to force Skyz to reposition himself. Throw a couple wall bangs in towards top bed. It's like OpTic Texas are trying to work towards the bomb plant, but they're just building a lot of noise on this side. The Subliners, they're not rotating. They have that mid-map cross.
Dashy trying to be essentially the canary in the coal mine, but New York prepared for the rotation, prepared for the late hit.
Oh!
But it's going to be a team nade. Shotzzy erases Ghosty, and from there, OpTic, they are locked inside a restaurant. New York are ready for the push. Time continues to tick, and right now, here for Texas, you got to come up with a strat. Are we going to go for the rotation, or are we going to have to go for the hit? Regardless, KiSMET is ready. He's in his spot, elevates, oh, and eventually gets dropped. 3v2, 20 seconds to work with.
Oh.
Dashy wins the fight.
Dashy wins the fight. Huke finds another as well. So it was just a 4v2, is now a 1v2. OpTic Texas, you have to get towards the site. You have to try to get this bomb down.
Priestahh knows he can go for the chow because Huke has to be on the bomb. He'll get it planted, and he can escape with his life. Priestahh, the first look at it. What does he see? Spots the shoulder of Huke, going for the chow, lasers him down. Huke trying to stay up, looking for information himself. Priestahh! You can always count on P-Dog. Around the New York nearly gave away. It is Priestahh to save the day. 1v2.
What a clutch right there out of Priestahh. Just beautiful reads from start to finish. Once he gets the info onto Dashy, he knows, I have to solo this guy out. Huke has to get that bomb down for them to even stand a chance in this round. Wins that one-on-one, traps Huke on towards the box. And I know Priestahh, he usually does not have a good time in those gunfights. If you remember that aBeZy 1v4, but he makes up for it, clutches up in the 1v2 to tie the game back up.
Yeah, righting the wrongs, that's for sure. Priestahh got to feel pretty good to walk away with that clutch. And just like that, 3-3 we go. A tie game as we enter into round number 7. And it will be the Subliners again on the attacking side in a very aggressive look indeed. OpTic have no clue that they've got HyDra already behind them. KiSMET in the meantime finds one on the Ghosty.
Yeah, but Huke's just trying to find his timing. Shotzzy does take down KiSMET, but Huke in a crucial position to make something happen. Now position is gonna be known. The rest of the Subliners players are gonna try to solo him out, knowing that he has that TAC 56 in hand. HyDra, he tries to go for the chow, but Shotzzy finds his second. And OpTic Texas in a man advantage.
Tosses out the nade, at least delays things. Skyz goes for the challenge. He jumps over the nade. Incredible work there for Caesar, as now we continue to battle, but take a look at what the one arrow who is not in this fight is. Skyz, another gunfight, but it's Priestahh on the other side of the map who's gonna get this objective down. Shotzzy wins it. Another 1v1. It's Priestahh again in a position to clutch.
Shotzzy still has that dead silence, but Priestahh with the positioning puts himself in towards top bed. He knows that Shotzzy is going to try to go for a route because that dead silence is still here. But the SMG in hand clutches up another 1v1 to give New York back control in this search and destroy. I thought that round would be a lot easier though, because HyDra, when he flanks in towards kitchen, I think you just got to get the bomb down. You have to find this one guy in towards B, plant the bomb, and the round is going to be yours. But Shotzzy was making kill after kill, could not find the final one though, as New York take back the lead.
Can we talk about what Skyz did? My guy had a nade thrown at him. Just jumped over it, goes for the chow, takes away a few inside a kitchen. Unreal plays across the board from New York. It's taken everything to walk away with a few of these. Priestahh, Mr. Clutch so far, giving New York our prior two as OpTic look to answer again. Battles on Greenberg. As things come to a slow.
And right now, OpTic Texas, they're playing for mid-map control. You see the SMGs, one's at couches, one's already pushed up in towards cat room. So they're just waiting for at least one of them to get some kind of information of how they are playing this defensive setup, because all of Subliners basically took a lot of steps out of their base. Taking their sweet time. OpTic Texas only with 40 seconds left, are looking like they're gonna commit over towards B, so it's gonna fall into the hands of KiSMET. What can he get done?
KiSMET has a few sound cues. He's known that Shotzzy has been here, but he's not able to win the fight. Dancing in the kitchen, goes Ant-Man, and now it's Ghosty's turn to put in some work, get Priestahh off the map. It feels like it's gotta be the objective, but more than anything, you gotta lock in that bomb. It's down, and you've got man count advantage. Can New York pull off the impossible again? Dashy trying to limit him. Eventually falls. Again, it's Texas with numbers. HyDra last man up. 1v3. The all to do is time. By no means on his side. Can the Frenchman do anything? No.
It's not the Frenchman, it's the Ant-Man. Shotzzy makes it happen. He finds 3 on the round, wins the huge one-on-one to start it all off in towards Kitchen by taking down KiSMET. Once he wins that gunfight, you close side door, you allow your teammates to get the bomb down, and you just change your spots up every single time because you know Subliners are going to try to go for those wall banks. But man, this has been an S&D. Definitely talk about all tied up at 4, blow for blow the entirety of the time. Now it's Subliners back on the attack with 3 players going over towards A.
Oh, we're jumping right into this. It's Shotzzy and Dashy finding an early double. Aware of the strategy that Subliners love to implement oh so often. The quick plant has been foiled. And Skyz most likely waving the white flag, a handful of HP. Thankfully resets, but boy does he have a lot of work to do.
1v4, no dead silence. Bomb down towards LDS. Huke finds the final. And that's a perfect blind counter right there out of OpTic Texas. They said every single time so far the Subliners have gone for the 2-2 split. A lot of mid-map control. They're gonna throw us a B push. And it works out to perfection. As Shotzzy finds another first blood. Dashy with the second. OpTic Texas with the perfect defensive setup to now put them at game point.
Now we see what the strategy elects to be. Jumping into what could be the final round of game number 2. OpTic on the attack. Shotzzy leading the way. Basically double negative in the hard point. Now taking over at 13-5. 1 away from the cruise missile, but we toss that aside for a moment. Dashy instantly with the answer. Quite a bit of noise made in the kitchen. Take a look at Ghosty's positioning, going for the wrap. In the meantime, Shotzzy falls and couches. Now it is NYSL with numbers. 2 more players to go. Ghosty ends up finding another.
2v2 now. Ghosty still has that dead silence. He's trying to cover more ground. He spots Priestahh, puts down a couple shots, but he might right into Dashy. Dashy takes him down. It's all left up the Skyz.
All on to Caesar. A 1v2 just to keep the game afloat. Bomb down. What do you have cooked up for us, Skyz? Can you pull off something special? Dashy to his left, already weak. The Vegas crowd is feeling it. And right now for Dashy, Jay, he can just hang out. He has to make Skyz have to go for the play.
You just play your life if you are Dashy because Ghosty has the first check on towards the site. He's gonna reposition towards bottom red room, but right now Skyz, he's just looking for Ghost. Only 15 seconds left to find 2 kills. OpTic Texas looking like they're gonna tie it up.
And there it is. A much needed regain. An OpTic answer in what was such a back and forth hotel S&D. One that was full of clutches. So many 1v1s, 2v2s. We got ourselves a series, buddy.
Man, OpTic Texas just did exactly what they needed to do. Keep in mind, 2 rounds, it was Priestahh winning some 1v1s. If that doesn't happen, OpTic Texas walked away with a lot cleaner of a search and destroy, where we were asking for a bounce back from the young man in Shotzzy. Mr. Movement King goes 13-6, 3 first bloods, just absolutely takes over in this game number 2 for OpTic Texas. Just multiple rounds where we thought OpTic Texas stood no chance. With only 20 seconds left, they decide to go in towards B. Who do they send in first? Shotzzy. He gets that first kill. They get the bomb down. They hold strong on their setup. And then on defense, They were great, and the second best overall team on Hotel Search and Destroy. Biggest thing that they did was stop the Subliners from successfully getting that bomb down. That was in our Monster Energy pregame, and they got it done to tie the series up.
I mean, if we know about it, then obviously OpTic Texas does too. Like you said, you come into that attacking round, New York, looking for that aggressive plan. OpTic are there to go for the denial. And as we said, that's what's so important about this series, is we took a look for a moment at the maps and modes, this upcoming one. Feels like this is going to be the deciding factor of the series. You came into this saying that, hey, whoever walks away with this map is going to take it. You still feel the same way?
100%, man. Hotel control, 3-night stay. Whoever takes the final stay in the hotel wins the series, in my opinion.
All right, you ladies and gentlemen, as we said, we've got our series on our hands. It's the last one here on day number 2 of Champ 2023. Who will walk away with the swing ball between OpTic and Subliners? We will find out right after this break.
Hello, my name is Miles Ross, and I am here to put a lie detector test on Skyz of the New York Subliners.
Like I'm swimming?
You ever done this before?
No.
It's telling me about your bad body language. This is reading a lot.
My bad body language?
I can see your breath jitter, how your skin's galvanizing. I mean, it's telling me your pulse. It's telling me a lot.
Am I nervous?
I don't know.
Does it look like I'm nervous?
It doesn't look like
Why am I nervous? I'm nervous low-key for no reason.
Well, that's fine. Let's get this on the road. Is your full name Caesar Skyz Bueno?
No. Skyz is not my legal name.
Are you a professional COD player?
Yes, I am a professional COD player.
Are you about to take a polygraph test?
Yeah, what is that? This, yeah. I'm taking a lie detector test, yeah.
I asked the question. Have you ever lied to your teammates about how much time you spend practicing or scrimming?
No.
Have you ever played a single session of COD for more than 8 hours?
Yes. I'm a veteran.
16 hours?
Yes.
24 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
What, is that a lie? I was dead ass.
I know, it's solid, it's solid. Have you ever blamed a loss on a teammate when it was actually your fault?
Oh, when it was actually my fault? Oh, no.
He's lying.
Dead ass?
Do you think HyDra is a better SMG than Pred?
Yes.
He's telling the truth. Do you think you could beat Kenny in a dance-off?
Yeah.
Oh, he's lying.
Wait, dead ass? Really?
Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking he's unstable on his feet.
He's lying.
No, this is broken because I'm dead ass not lying. I could smoke him. I'm just thinking about his front door porch where he was like trying to control his legs and he crippled on the floor. That's like the first thing I got. Damn, I'm lying on that? That's bullshit. What?
I mean,
I'd smoke him. Where is he?
did you live rent-free with your girlfriend and her family for 2 years?
Damn, how's the Yeah. I offered to pay, but they didn't let me.
You were telling the truth on that one.
Thank you.
Maybe you should have lied. Did you feel bad about eliminating Vegas Legion from champs?
Yes and no, but yes. They're seeing them like, ugh.
Oh, I don't know, actually. You are lying.
I'm lying?
You are lying.
Them guys.
Yeah.
My bad, Clay.
Keep that shit together. What is more stressful? Playing on stage or taking this test?
Taking this test.
He's lying. Playing on stage is way harder than this.
No, I'm actually like nervous right now.
I know your body. I know. I can see it. Sender is your favorite member of the coaching staff. True or false?
I mean, I like them both. True. Oh wait, no, false.
I think he's lying.
I know you're lying.
You think I love you? I hate you.
Last question. Out of all the CDL casters, I'm your favorite.
No.
He's lying. He's lying. How you feeling about the test?
Feel good. I was honest. I was honest, Abe.
You were
I
pretty.
was nervous. I think it's the vibes, bro. Like this lamp, why is it here? I think it was the lamp that got me. I felt like I was getting interrogated.
You were, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a good sport, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
That was the lie detector test, and he was Skyz.
The truthful man.
That is all true.
Dude, look at this.
You're sweating.
Bro.
Jeez.
I'm shook.
Why are you so nervous?
I don't know.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was nervous more here than stage. But, like, all right.
All right, let's do an outro.
Okay.
Well, I think the noise speaks for itself, but right now we are watching a main stage match, OpTic versus New York Subliners. The turnout is wild. I didn't expect anything less from the OpTic and New York fans here in Vegas.
Not at all for day two. We've got fans going all the way up towards the top of the venue right now. It's electric here. I know those that are at home are saying, woulda, coulda. I mean, come on. It's been unbelievable. It's going to be an electric final couple of days as well.
It's going to be absolutely insane, and it's only getting louder in here. This is day number 2 at Champs. Imagine what 3 and 4 are going to bring. I literally can't wait, Shift. It's going to be amazing.
Tune in. Don't miss out on it. We've got a lot of electricity still to come, even though today may take the cake, let's be honest.
There it is.
Thanks so much, guys. You guys have been killing it all weekend long. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to COD Champs 2023. OpTic Texas currently taking on the New York Subliners. And Jay, we have ourselves a series, New York in game 1. OpTic answered to get to the round 10 in the S&D. And now we fly in for another hotel, this time for some control.
And this is everything, in my opinion, whoever walks away with the dub at the end of this one. Because both of these squads love themselves some hotel control. We know going into the veto process, OpTic Texas, they are not going to play El Asilo. They do not want to play New York on that map, and New York do not want to play Expo. So it was going to be a square up on the hotel where both of these teams find a lot of success on the attacking side. Second for the Subliners, fourth for OpTic Texas. So in my opinion, I think it all comes down to whoever walks away with at least one defense. One defense is this all that this is going to come down to. And it's going to be the Subliners to start it off. OpTic Texas filling the momentum, filling the crowd after a great search and destroy win. Can they change it to this map 3?
Absolutely. As you said, most times we're looking at teams to walk away with attacks. This time it feels like, given both of these teams' repertoire, it's all about who can walk away with the defenses. Currently OpTic in firm control over at that B zone, nearly a third of the way there, and they're also putting pressure on the top side of the map. Right now it's Shotzzy having a blast over at the A zone. New York at the back of their base, yet to really put a dent in this OpTic attacking side.
They can't. They haven't even been able to find a kill as well.
Wait a second.
Shotzzy wins the one-on-one over towards A. That's 2 ticks about the 3 over towards B. New York had to get a move on it. Shotzzy wins another one-on-one. B's already out the way. OpTic are finding all the kills at the right time. And Shotzzy might have just done enough to get 2 segments by himself at this 8 point. He's still not gonna drop until the trade comes in from Priestahh. But 1 segment is all you need. With 2 minutes on the clock, OpTic Texas coming out swinging.
Jay, I'm gonna let you know now, this one's done. This one's over. And that is the way that you get momentum on your side. Load into an attack. Once they got on both of those objectives, they never looked back. But Jay, it was the one-man army inside a restaurant. Shotzzy so clutch to win those 1v1s, to make his teammates' lives so much easier in the pivot, in the transition, to get over toward that other zone. Excellent job here in round 1.
That was just flawless right there out of OpTic Texas. Nice and early success on the attacking side. Now they're going back on the defense, and this time around, they're the team with trophy systems. So they're going to be prepared for the push. Dashy at least takes down one. His trophy takes him down, but there's Ghosty for the cleanup. They're trying to shut down this early pressure from the Subliners over towards B. The SMGs working flanks.
Looking for a few, and it is a team nade. That is not going to be a lovely sight to see. And with that team nade, it ends up allowing for Huke to have the easiest kill to the middle side of the map. So back to the drawing board you go. Did get 1 segment over at B, but now it's about where does New York elect to go now, Jay?
They have to make a decision, because right now OpTic Texas on the 2-2 split. They're finding all the kills at the right time, but Shotzzy drops. Dashy gets some bad COD timing, and unfortunately turns at the wrong moment to now allow Subliners to pause the time, get on this 8-point first segment about to be done. But Ghosty and Huke, they find 2. They're still gonna apply this pressure.
Oh my goodness, what a snap there from Matthew Tinsley. Excellent work there out of KiSMET. Priestahh needing that fight, not gonna earn it. A current 2v1 on the point, and Dashy may look to wait for some reinforcements given those close spawns. It looks like this A zone is surely gonna go the way of the Subliners, and it will. An extra minute added onto the clock, and in the meantime, Jay, they also didn't give up all that much time.
Yeah, they didn't give up a lot, and they also didn't give up a lot of lives as well. They only find themselves down by 2, but you have to be able to take care of these players coming off spawn. Huke with a huge one-on-one versus HyDra to shut down that pinch. So now all of New York are gonna apply pressure through the middle of the map. KiSMET invested that death sounds to try to take bedroom control. He does take down Shotzzy, but your teammates are nowhere near the point. It's a lot of other players from OpTic Texas you have to account for.
Ghosty also trying to dictate the spawns. Keep in mind that arrow on the bottom left side of your screen. He's trying to make the lives of New York a little bit more difficult, spawn them on the top side of the map, make them have to work through the opposite spawn. And right now, that is the trick they're looking to make. KiSMET, another crucial gunfight up close, nose of the spawner that Ghosty is trying to be. Great work coming in from him. That's a 4 spree, and now it's a stack from the Subliners.
And Shotzzy's gonna be the only guy who can actually make a play through top bed, and he might have found the timing. He's able to take down 2. The route man makes it happen, and Ghosty invests the cruise missile, so nothing gets out of hand. OpTic Texas take full control of the map once again. 2 players pushed out towards bedroom. Fortunately, Ghosty does lose that fight to HyDra. But it's Dashy's turn now to put down the beams through the middle of the map while his teammates are still holding strong over towards the bedroom side.
If you begin to fault, New York looking for the regroup. Again, right now, if you're OpTic, just trying to cut away a few players in stride, have those trades favor you. It is 2 segments over at B, so 1 more to go, and we're at a tie game, ultimately. But it's Shotzzy again. Such a fiend on the flank. Tagged up and bagged up. New York find their answer. They find their window. It's Skyz for 2. And the round there from New York. As you said, Jay, it was all about attacks. And that has absolutely been the story. 2 for 2 as we are level at 1.
Yeah, Subliners, it wasn't as easy as it was for OpTic Texas in that round number 1. But you complete that 8 point. You're able to extend that time, and then HyDra goes in a nice little 5 spree towards the back end, catching players from OpTic Texas all spawn, creating openings for his teammates to eventually get on the point. And I love right there the play out of Skyz, because he's the only guy that gets on towards B, but he puts himself on the backside of the block, so Shotzzy's not able to find an angle unless he overextends. That leads to his teammates setting him up. New York able to tie it up at 1. Now it's OpTic Texas. Can they have another attacking victory?
And it feels like for Skyz at that moment, it's such a high-pressure moment. But as we saw in the content piece, my guy's been going through a lot this week, and at that lie detector test, and I'm sure matches like this maybe feel a little bit easier based on the nerves. But into this round 3 we go. OpTic on the attacking side and having a little bit to deal with over at the restaurant. By no means to see that same level of success early on in the round, but given those close spawns, they're going to regroup and just try to get this one out of the way as fast as possible.
Yeah, you just got to get A out of the way, and Ghosty with that too. Might have just got it done. Second segment is about to be in, and look how aggressive Shotzzy is already on the map. Finds himself through middle arch, but he is going to get spotted, so you just want to play your life before and allow your teammates to get into the play. But now time is extended, 2 minutes. Try to work over towards this B point. OpTic Texas is going to approach the flank angle because they don't have bedroom control. If they get a couple kills off spawn, that's the best case scenario. Huke at least find 1, but 2 of his teammates drop at the same time.
Yeah, problem being, well, I was gonna say is that New York are aware of his position, but it may not matter. Huke looking to be a bit of a thorn in the side. Eventually falls, and now we take a look at the top side of the screen. Minute 30 on the clock. You see Priestahh now on a 5 spree, 1 more, and he's got the cruise missile. Trying to build up the artillery right now if you're New York. Also trying to build up the life advantage right now. Currently 22 to 18. A lot of games still to be played as OpTic look to group up for once more another attacking play. All 4 players up as we begin with a pick from Ghosty.
And that's a big kill right there because now you have bedroom control. You're gonna have 1 player committing towards the flank. Unfortunately, can't win the fight, and that leads to the Subliners finding 3 at the right time. Last player is going to be Dashy. He does take down 2. But he has to do more because the players on his side are nowhere near. Oh, you have to worry about KiSMET, who takes him down towards bottom bedroom. So 45 seconds left. New York still trying to hold on.
Excellent timing there from KiSMET in that 5 minutes. Ghosty putting the SRG into use. Huke with the 3rd. KiSMET, last player up. What can he do? What can he accomplish? As he waits for the cavalry to arrive off of spawn, and they got the top right side of the map. So it is going to be New York arriving at the perfect time. Two end up going OpTic's way. A nade coming in over the top. Priestahh there for the answer. We continue to exchange blows. Back and forth, 20 seconds on the clock.
20 seconds to go. New York just have to hold strong over towards the double desk. All of OpTic Texas applying pressure through the front. Let's just fly on out. Huke's gonna play his life. Time is now gonna be paused. They get on the point. 8 to 10 in lives remaining. Trades are going back and forth. The second segment is in. OpTic Texas trying to win it here.
Oh, KiSMET, it's a fighting one in the meantime. Ghosty falls, and KiSMET just made the play. It looks like that's the case. 4 lives left and 4 seconds left on the clock. Did New York just clutch up? It looks like it. Oh my word. KiSMET just went God mode there at the end. That round had OpTic's name written all over it, Jay.
You got to think when OpTic get a clean 3 dead, they know that the last player has to be on a flank. They know it's KiSMET still alive. But once KiSMET is able to find at least 1 kill, that's all he needed to do. He stays alive. He forces OpTic Texas to start to try to locate where he is in towards bedroom. And by the time they're doing that, all the time they are wasting, the players from the Subliners come off spawn and hold strong towards the double desk and secure the first defense of the map. They give up 5 seconds, but who cares? You got the W. Subliners up 2-1, back on the attack.
Reason why we talk about New York, their success, how important this control is for them, Jay, is because of when they've won control, it's led to success. 25-2 in series where they've won control. In series where they haven't, they're 2-15. So it feels like for the Subliners, this one is essential. You need to get it done, and you'd prefer to not have to do it in 5 rounds. Jumping into another as HyDra looks to get going. Huke there to limit him. As we continue to trade back and forth, right now it's Texas with a decently sized lead in terms of the lives. Skyz jumps in.
Yeah, Skyz is in. Unfortunately, the nade is going to bounce rack, hit him in the face, but just focus on taking down Huke. Big team shots out of KiSMET to eventually equalize him. Now the first segment is about to come in towards A. Shotzzy has that dead silence. He's trying to go for the flank. Him and his teammates combining for a couple team shots to take down 2, and Dashy with the 3rd. Last player here is going to be HyDra. Do they commit on trying to locate him? It's only 30 seconds left. OpTic Texas walk away right now. They will have another defense.
Time paused, but only for a moment. New York with 2 members on that B zone. Dashy, what he can do toward the back. It's Huke, ultimately from the front. Right now it's a 2v2 inside the point. Shotzzy looking to make these fights be on his terms. HyDra ends up finding the double, so he stalled the time, but for the most part, it is going to allow for some freedom to happen over toward the top side. 1 player from New York on A, the other over at B. Great work in the clutch moments for the Subliners to stay alive, and they are building upon that advantage. That is 4 down, and that could be game right there.
This could be game. They had the stack over towards B, so if you are OpTic Texas, you know you can't fight that side.
It's a race.
It's already a race. They have 3 players on that side of the map. There's only 1 player from New York on the point. It's going to be Priestahh, but they're finding all the kills. Dashy finds 1. That's now 3 dead. It's all on Shotzzy. He drops, and the Subliners come out with the control to take a commanding 2-1 lead.
All it takes is 1 team fight. Takes 1 situation. 1 moment in that round number 4 where New York had an answer to get the clean 4 down. And you can tell, Jay, they knew exactly what to do in that moment. They were prepared for that success. Locking up B, transition to A, and from there it's all about the trades. Wonderful work from New York, and as we said, their success has come from control. Rarely, if ever at all, do they lose a series after winning at control in a series.
And in that final round, I thought the Subliners, they were getting heavily outslayed. But when they extend that time, at least put a lot of pressure over towards B, and they also had 1 player over towards A. You're now forcing OpTic Texas to come off spawn, put a lot of commitment towards that B point, but at least send 1 player towards A. So it's not going to be a 3v4. It's not going to be a man advantage with you on that side of the map. and that leads to KiSMET finding Bree. Once he takes down all 3 players at the B point, he knows B's out the way. And at the same time, Priestahh wins a one-on-one towards A. All of OpTic Texas come off small because they drop at the same time. And that's what made it super easy for the Subliners to hit the transition over towards the opposite side of the map and close this one out. But it was a back and forth game. It's just the Subliners a little bit more cleaner on their attacking side, and they were the team that at least clutched up on that one defense.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That defense was massive when you think about obviously what they were able to do and that closeout round. But I don't know about you, man, but it just feels like when we look at the respawns, right now New York are 2 for 2. They're hoping to make it 3 for 3 in this upcoming HyDra HP. But it just feels like for New York, it's not the HyDra show, right? No. It feels like it has been a collaborative effort for everybody. HyDra's had his moment, but we're talking about KiSMET, we're talking about Priestahh, what he's been able to do. Skyz has been solid. This has been the team effort that you are looking for if you're a New York fan.
And this was the team effort that they were missing at Major 4 when they played OpTic, because it was Skyz who dropped like a 0.6. Priestahh drops a 0.5, but the impact kills that they are making, the impact plays that they are making in this map and series is unbelievable. It's just full teamwork on full display right now from the Subliners that is giving them the edge so far. And with them taking that control, you gotta think New York put themselves in a position to walk away with this series, knowing the next map that's coming up.
You can see the fire coming out of everybody over on that stage for the boys in yellow. KiSMET getting loud, Skyz as well. It feels like the word for New York lately has been confidence, and right now they have got it. So many players on this team trying to make a statement here at Champs. You could go across the list, a prove-it year, basically for all 4 players on this roster. And right now, Jay, they are 1 map victory away from guaranteed top 3. Unreal story for them. But HyDra HP up next. What are you looking to see from the boys in green?
If you are OpTic Texas, you just got to make the game a little bit chaotic for the Subliners, because they are basically #1 in every single statistic. #1 in rotation, #2 in breaks, #1 in holds. So if map 1 told us anything, OpTic Texas were the better team on that map in rotations, but couldn't win anything. So you have to, on a map like HyDra, hit those water routes, put yourself in a position to make plays happen. And I'm definitely looking at the SMGs who had a slow start in that map #1. Shotzzy answers back in that map #2. The guns are starting to get hot. I'm really focused on those water route battles between HyDra and KiSMET, because those guys love themselves some HyDra. They know exactly what they need to do in every single situation. OpTic Texas just have to be prepared, because I feel like every time we watch them on HyDra Hardpoint, it's always a photo finish. 250 to like 230, it always goes down to the end in OpTic victories.
Absolutely, it's gonna be a blast. We'll have to watch and wait and see what will happen here on this upcoming HyDra Hardpoint. A lot on the line here for OpTic Texas fans. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have not done so already, make sure to check out Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. You can see that QR code. Pull your phone out, pull out the camera, snap it, and make sure to sign on up. I know the boys over on the mobile side are having a blast with it. Make sure to go ahead and do it if you've not done so already. But into this game 4 we go, Jay. We're talking about really multiple players for both sides of the equation for New York. You've got HyDra, you've got KiSMET, who love those water routes. But if there is one guy who I know loves them probably more than anybody else, it is Shotzzy. Yeah, he has said, almost like a freak, he's like, yeah, I love HyDra Hardpoint. I don't care if anybody else doesn't. This is my map. It's fair to say we're going to be spending quite a bit of this game #4 in that good old H2O one.
Now, if you're
that plus minus.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Oh
like,
my.
Every time New York played this map, they are absolutely slamming their opponents. #1 hold percentage, so it's basically impossible to find breaks if you are OpTic Texas. So you just got to be the team there early. But OpTic trying to rally back, trying to force the game 5. They're going to be on the preferred side going into that P2. Their main focus is not give up a lot of time off this P1. Huke starts it off with the first. It's a trade back and forth, but OpTic Texas a step ahead right now. They just want to hold this setup.
HyDra will take the first of what will be many water routes here on some good old HyDra, and at the same time, New York will also put their foot inside of the hard point for the opening few seconds. As you said, buddy, OpTic put the more preferred side over at P2, so they will have that to hold on to. 20 seconds still to fight for, and right now for New York, it's about trying to battle out of your spawn, get past that 50-yard line.
And already KiSMET's hitting that water route. He's gonna find himself behind enemy lines towards that P2 HP. as the rest of the subline is going to apply the pressure through the front. KiSMET wins that one-on-one versus Dashy. So now OpTic are going to spawn across the map. This is a crucial moment that the subliners are able to take full advantage of because of the route by KiSMET.
Oh, but Shotzzy, as we said, one around countered by another. Shotzzy going to do whatever he can to stay alive, apply some pressure from the back.
Big win.
Great fights. And just like that, OpTic have broken over P2.
That's a beautiful break from OpTic Texas. It starts with the water route from Shotzzy. You spawn New York all the way across the map. And now Ghosty, Mr. Communication, is letting them know they're all crossing through P1 side. We're going to be prepared for the gunfights. Shotzzy already 5-0, cannot earn himself the cruise missile, but with 30 seconds left, you will take this time if you are OpTic Texas.
Oh, my!
They're throwing that lead, and Huke is taking over the game. Huke Nuka with 3. OpTic Texas, hold on.
Oh, he has to hit the reload. He falls, but take a look already at the rotation. This is massive. Already, New York walking away with the scrap time, but it's Ghosty in the back. Wins that one on to Skyz, and already OpTic have got numbers. Dashy puts his first kill up on the board, and we prepare for new, and it's OpTic again on the more favorable spot.
Yeah, OpTic are going to be here early. Ghosty trying to block these spawns, not allow any subliners players to spawn behind enemy lines. So far, New York are just going to apply the pressure through the front end. Shotzzy knows exactly where they're coming from, but he cannot take down KiSMET. You also have a route coming in from Skyz, pitches from every single angle.
Wow.
The subliners get the break, and now it's going to lead to some much needed time.
My goodness, man. Just feels like an HyDra. We're so often talking about rotations, how important that those are, and so far, early on in this game, it is about the breaks. It's been about the routes. Another break potentially here for OpTic. Shotzzy elevates, jumps on forward, gets the assistance, and now it's Ghosty putting that FaZe to good use.
And this is perfect right here. If you are OpTic Texas, you apply the pressure over towards P3. Your teammates are already rotating, and Huke cannot be slowed down until Priestahh wins that one-on-one. But it's OpTic Texas winning a rotation. Just got to pay attention to those water routes. Don't allow these SMGs to try to make something happen. Shotzzy wins that one-on-one versus Priestahh, but OpTic Texas fully set up. Huke is ready for every engagement from every angle.
Yeah, right now for OpTic Texas, you're set up quite well. You're ready for every angle, but is it going to matter? First 2 kills coming in from the subliners. Let's see how the remainder here of OpTic Texas can lock it down. Dashy, solid as you'd like. Slow start to the game, but he eventually falls. And really, he is the pillar in the backside of the map. He gets taken down, and how about another break here from the subliners?
That's just beautifully played right there from New York. They send multiple players up through P2. They still apply the pressure through the front end, but they clutch up in those fights and spawn OpTic Texas across the map. They're not going to be able to take the lead. They're going to keep the game close. Only 10 seconds left on P4. You're not going to force OpTic Texas to set up properly towards the next. They are going to get those back spawns. So they should be allowed to get fully set up, but that's actually a massive kill because potentially Huke is going to spawn out behind enemy lines. No, he's going to spawn right next to his teammate, OpTic, in full control of the P5.
Yeah, you just never really know when it comes down to HyDra. And sometimes the players don't either, but chaos begins to ensue. Right into the turbine we go, and it's early trades back and forth. New York, for the moment, coming out on top. As you said, it feels like at the first set of rotations, I mean, rotos are fine, but it's been about the breaks. New York doing a great job from the front as now they maintain the time. Lead change about to be inbound, and Skyz right there guarantees.
They were able to flip those spawns as well, so now OpTic Texas spawning over towards P1. New York do a great job of finding the kills to flip it right on back because they know we have to get top dome going into the next 2 hills. Subliners take the lead for now. OpTic Texas spawning behind enemy lines. Skyz currently on a 5 streak, can potentially earn himself a cruise missile. But New York currently up by 20 points. If they can walk away with this remaining junk time, this is exactly how you want to go into the next set of hard points.
And at the same time as well, you're also going to have Skyz, who just earned the cruise missile, finishes his food. They're on to Shotzzy. Thought he had another one in store. But as we said for New York, you can be happy with that, Jay. As we said, they've got that right side of the map, continuing to put themselves on the more favorable side. And now with those 2 kills, they can begin to re-engage back into P1.
Yeah, because you know you don't want to give them a lot of time at this P1 hard point. Let's just pull out the knife. KiSMET is making plays happen. Fortunately, can't find the kill onto Dashy. Tries to set up HyDra. He can't find anything either. So with only 30 seconds left, OpTic have the bodies. They just have to apply the pressure, win this next set of fights, spawn the subliners behind them so they can have a lot of success again at that P2. And Ghosty and Dashy might have just done enough to spawn New York out.
Looks like they're still going to hold on to it for the moment. 13 seconds left at P1. NYSL have done what they need to. They had to give away the lead, but it's going to be a worthy transaction in the end to put yourself on the more favorable side for what is a money hill on this map. HyDra looking to hit a few routes as Texas begin their first brigade, begin their first look, their first push at it. Pistol out! Oh, nearly finds a second. HyDra does the job that it needs to, but OpTic are right on the edge of trying to go for the break. That's gonna be 2 players already found.
Shotzzy's making plays, man. He was able to hit a water route. He's able to find 3 as well. And now the subliner spawning across the map. Unfortunately, does not read the spawn for HyDra, and HyDra makes them pay. He finds 2. To lead to the break for the subliners. Unfortunate team name coming in from Huke. And now the subliners have the ability to take the lead right on back. But if you're paying attention to your mini-map, Skyz is a step ahead. He's already at the next hill.
Wonderful work from New York, taking advantage of the opportunities that they have been provided with. 15 seconds still to fight for, and right now, with how close of a game that it is, you will walk away with every second that you can. Big battle in the bag. Is Shotzzy ready? Big win. He'll grab it. 4 go down, and we step aside. A listening now with OpTic Texas.
You should go left. Okay.
I'm laying down top dome. They killed me dome. They killed me dome. They're hard clearing dome. They're hard clearing dome. They're all there. Made me taking right routes.
OpTic right. I have all right.
I front, guys. I front. Yo, one guy's he's still cell spot. Money.
I need him front. I need him front.
I'm
blocking, by the way.
Semi top.
Pitch the back. They're gonna spawn on the back. 2 in the HyDra's in the back. Caesar's front. Caesar's bridge.
He's out of rocks.
I'm leaving them in the back. I'm letting them spawn there.
Shut up.
Listen, they're all spawning there. They're all spawning there.
You could go right.
Good.
I'm trying to push you.
I got front.
Front in back. Wait, front in back. They're responding behind you, right?
Wait, nothing here. You guys go.
Back shit now. He's trying to.
I got you.
Okay, push him.
There's 2 old.
You go right when you spawn. Go right.
Yeah, I hear it.
Priestahh is in the deep back. Priestahh's deep back.
Yep. They're gonna probably. Hold on, one could be like ruins are trying to.
I'm down to go deep water, yo. Just try and look over me.
One guy's P5. One shot. He's going out. He's pitching.
I got him.
You looking over me deep, right?
I
got hit by name here. They know I'm here.
I'm gonna get the P1. I spawned out.
That's fine.
The guy old one P1.
You cast on me.
Do you know where this guy's P1?
Top castle.
He's out of right.
Inside castle.
I hear that.
I needed him time. 1 shot time. I don't see the guy old.
Yo, it's castle weak.
Yo, one guy's here. Paco's going mid. Or he ran back to the dome.
One guy's in castle.
Outer castle.
Top boulder. Boulder 1 shot. Boulder dead. 1 more for P2 in time. Going front side time. Backside time.
Yeah, you got me in ocean. In water. He's out of water.
Some P5. Some in the back.
Yeah, they're spawning out.
Two spawn out. Two doubles. Only 1 in the back. 1 more minute. 1 shot through.
Yo, he's back boulder.
They're all there.
He's laying down on time.
There's 2 doubles.
I need him on top.
One shot, guys.
We're gonna go top.
I got him.
Yo, one could be 3 guys, right?
Yeah, could be. I think they're all old.
Make sure you block. I have low right here.
Yo, he's in the back, guys. Back gas.
A nice little check-in there with OpTic Texas as we continue to battle hill after hill after hill. But Jay, if there's one thing I take away from the comms, it is the human radar, the rookie and Ghosty, trying to give every single bit of information over to the rest of the squad.
Man, the communication was on point right there from OpTic Texas. The only thing they couldn't find the kill on the KiSMET. That leads to New York finding at least 20 to 25 seconds. Still at that P4 hard point. KiSMET is not slowing down. He does get shut down from that cruise missile, but already in towards the P5 generator are the subliners. Now it's all on to Skyz. He's the only man here. OpTic Texas, they're right back on in. They know exactly where he is. He's just got to find the kill.
It's a matter of just trying to lock it in. Matter of trying to find it. Big seconds right now from New York. Skyz goes bye-bye, and from there, it's not going to be a 1v1 for a lot of time. KiSMET takes it again.
He's just making plays, man. All these crucial one-on-one gunfights. For this final 20 to 25 seconds, KiSMET is coming out on top, and this should allow the subliners to take a little bit of a lead. Now going back towards the P1 hard point. Both of these squads trying to fight for that water control. Shotzzy's prepared for the fight, pulls out the pistol, and now it's OpTic Texas winning that rotation. They're gonna be able to take the lead right on back, but they're more focused on maintaining dome side. Where is Priestahh? He's been the guy that you have to focus on.
Meanwhile, here comes the streak from the top. Cruise missile engaged, and Dashy will get wiped away. Big moments going on in the back. We're also battling at P1. Chaos right now ensuing here on HyDra. Shotzzy wins the fight. And with that, as his teammates begin to fall, it could be a good position given where he has locked things up at. Back and forth we go as New York are just trying to figure out where OpTic's hiding. Where is Shotzzy at?
Yeah, Shotzzy's just playing his life beautifully. He knows that his teammates are going to win those gunfights over towards P1, and now that's 3 dead. You only have to focus on HyDra, but when you get all those kills, you put yourself on the better side of the map. It's going to be OpTic Texas winning the rotation. You still have Dashy applying pressure, trying to build a layer over towards P1 side, but this is going to be a photo finish. OpTic in full control, have to hold on.
It comes down to this. It comes down to this situation. A New York break or an OpTic. Oh, what's it gonna be? Skyz with 1. We continue to battle back and forth. It's an open hard point for the moment as KiSMET is happy to walk away with the seconds. Shotzzy answers it from there. OpTic know exactly where New York are gonna engage from. Oh, my word!
OpTic Texas only need 10 points. New York spawning all the way across the map. They are trying to force the game 5.
Well, last player, it's on to KiSMET.
Again.
He stays alive. He stays alive. Huke falls. It's the New York.
They can win it.
They can win it here.
They can win it.
Jay, they can win it here.
You gotta go if you are OpTic Texas. You gotta apply the pressure. At least contest 4 milliseconds. Ghosty starts it off with the first. 10 seconds is needed until Subliners call game.
Oh, they can't break in. They can't break in. Did they get the tick? I don't believe this. They got it. They got it. New York. Vegas is stunned. I thought that one player from Texas, Shane Dolphin, dived in and just got a sliver. But it looks as if the answer to that is no. New York come away with a stunner. It comes down to 1 kill, 1 second, Jay. And this goes OpTic's way. It's guaranteed.
And I told you before the match started, every time OpTic spawn in on HyDra HP, it always is a photo finish towards the very end. But it all falls into the hands of KiSMET. Play after play throughout the entirety of the map, winning such crucial one-on-one gunfights. In those final moments, he's able to find 2, flip the spawns for OpTic Texas, and then it has to be picture perfect from the Subliners to win it at that hill. 1 second contest is all OpTic Texas needed to force the game number 5. But the Subliners, they get the better of them today in all 3 respawns. So now move on to the David Toronto Ultraman.
Oh my God. What a series. What a situation toward the stretch. A HyDra HP that started with breaks and ends with them. Let's take a look at this again, Jay. What do you see?
Right here was KiSMET. He was the only guy here. Once you take him down, OpTic Texas, they know this is our map to lose. You have Ghosty who goes on a pitch through middle alley. That now allows them to get a clean 4 dead. But look at number 7. Play after play out of KiSMET. He finds the timing to get right by Huke. Jumps right into the hill, catches Dashy and Shotzzy with their pants down. And then HyDra with the final to spawn OpTic Texas across the map. That just is very unfortunate. It had to be a perfect break from the Subliners. A clean 4 dead, no contest to come in. And that's exactly what they do.
I thought right there that could have been it. I think it was Huke who dove in for a moment.
Yeah.
I thought in that moment that may have just done it, but clearly not. New York, maybe a quarter of a second in this game is headed to a map 5. And there you can see the reaction from OpTic Texas. They know how close they were. That is our scuff play of the game, James. We take a look at the scoreboard.
And it's 246 to 250, man. If you think about that P4 hard point in the second rotation, when it came down to KiSMET swimming in the water, Shotzzy puts down shots. He thinks he finished the kill, so he turns to the side. But then when he goes back to Chow, KiSMET wins that one-on-one to secure about 25 seconds for New York. What a stellar series from start to finish. But the Subliners are your major 5 champions. They are a team to beat in this tournament. They're trying to be world champions now.
Oh my goodness, man. Unbelievable stuff. Unreal work here from the Subliners, and with that W top 3 guaranteed, I believe that's the highest guaranteed placement that they have had in franchise history at Champs. Incredible work here from the Subliners. That's going to do it for myself and Jay. We toss it over to Blaze, who's joined by KiSMET.
Thank you so much for the beautiful cast. Las Vegas, give it up for the Major 5 champions, New York Subliners, as they get it done once again. KiSMET, what a series that was. We watched the final moments here on the big screen, but let's talk about it again. A hard point, coming down to those final seconds, it was a tough map. Talk to me about what was going on through your heads and when you guys finally figured out you had enough time in that last hill to win it.
I was in hill and we were all screaming at each other. We were like, do we get the tick? Do we get the tick? And I think Caesar was like, yeah, we get it. So we were just like, screw it, we're gonna hold this hill, hope to God we get the tick. Luckily we did. It was insane.
Composed right there towards the end. Talk to me about how proud are you of this team, because with this event and even last event, you guys are always going up against the favorites, okay? Oh, yeah. The crowd, the big team, but it don't matter. You guys are the Subliners and you get it done. How so?
I mean, this is the second time we played against a really big crowd. It's fun to play against it. Obviously, we want to win. But I just love my team, bro. Like, I mean, we have so much, like, trust in each other. There's so much going on there, and I don't know, there's so much going on. I don't know how to word it, but it just feels good, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no wrong thing that we can do. We're just there for each other. So
you guys got each other's back, and you can do no wrong, okay? Win together, lose together, it don't matter, but you're winning right now. And for the fans out here who are happy you're winning, they out there, they got the signs, they at home, they in the chat going wild. What do you want to tell them as you're in the winners finals going against Toronto Ultra?
I love you, and we're getting this ring.
They're getting it, they gonna get the ring, and that's gonna do it for me and KiSMET here on the stage. Puckett, close us out.
KiSMET is chasing his ring, and he is sure playing like it here in Las Vegas. Enormous performance at the end of game number 4 to send the Subliners to our winners bracket finals, where tomorrow they will take on Toronto Ultra. New York and Toronto, the 2 teams left unbeaten. We have Atlanta and OpTic Texas in the elimination bracket, and that matchup could be coming as early as tomorrow.
Honestly, we look at the bracket now, things get a little crazy. Like you said, we're looking at a FaZe OpTic potential matchup if they make it through Seattle and Boston. It's going to get a little crazy.
Ali and Nameless, I'm going to get your opinions here in a moment, but I want to start here because, Clay, you are losing your mind watching this mini-map. Let's load it up one more time. It's your scum play of the game, and of course, KiSMET is doing work for New York, but there's a slip-up on the OpTic setup. They got to fix these mistakes come tomorrow.
OpTic had this in the bag. They needed 18 seconds with a full setup. If you're in Subliner's position here, you are in full-on panic mode. Right here, Kyler Huke, he makes a huge mistake. He ends up pushing through Broken instead of holding P4. He allows KiSMET to slip through the front of the hill and get an uncontested 2-piece. Honestly, I'm not sure what he's doing. He was just playing for kills. He needs to understand the objective right there. Hold the hill, play tight. All you need is 4 seconds.
That was really tough to watch. I mean, that's COD timing at COD timing's finest if I've ever seen anything, but I completely agree. I feel like maybe you should have held a second, checked mid, just in case the player got through. And then the fact that the tick comes through as well is just so unfortunate for like OpTic Texas.
That's enough to check you out of a tournament, man. Like the heroics that Shotzzy made to put them in that position were unbelievable. We thought they had it locked up. He could have put his controller down, relayed information, and did better for the squad. Super unfortunate, man. We got to be so tough on Huke, but that is a blunder that cannot happen at COD Champs.
Looking at this series, it's not as close as you remember the end of that game number 4. This was a one-sided affair from the start, a 250 to 130 in hardpoint number 1. Then you see the 3-1 on control. Subliners finishing strong, and I wonder, if it went to that game 5, is OpTic the team favored to win that?
I honestly do not know. What I do have a question about is what happened with the vetoes from OpTic. I know that they've been vetoing Embassy, so they're going to play Zark, but you're playing New York on Hotel.
They picked Hotel.
That's crazy
Hotel
to me,
map
man.
1. Yeah, I don't know if they're basing the vetoes off scrims or what have you, but seems like that was a droppage of the ball there.
All right, OpTic, they're going to fall to the elimination bracket, but they're not out. Everyone here in double elimination still alive as we come into day 3 with our final 6. Let's take a look, though, at everything going down as we sent 2 teams home. LA Thieves was the first one as they fell to Seattle Surge. Let's revisit this one. Surge coming in with the AC, taking on LA Thieves, who were up 2-1 against Toronto. Then fell in 4 and 5. They dropped to the losers bracket, and they totally looked like they got caught off guard, Allie.
Yeah, I think what was most impressive for me was definitely that map number 1 from Seattle to take that opening 1-0 lead. Sib and Fred just looked like completely different players than from yesterday, and clearly didn't want to get knocked out of this tournament, and going up against the defending world champs is no easy feat. So I was really impressed by that map number 1, as well as Mack's performance in game number 3 to then force that game number 5 Fortress. They won a Fortress SD, and it was game 5 of all things. If there's any time to start winning your searches, it is now during championship weekend.
Glacier, there's a lot of talk about what happens to the players on LA Thieves. Do you see them coming back together in 2024? Who do you think goes where, and what star would you pick up first for your squad?
That's a tough one. We're talking about 4 phenomenal players, A-list players that any team would love to have on their team, and them all becoming free agents. I know they stuck it out last year after the champs win, but a little curious if they stick together after last place.
Seattle Surge able to pull off the dub in that game number 5, and we had a chance to catch up with their staff as Lottie got on the mic with Phoenix. Let's take a look.
I'm joined by Phoenix, the head coach of Seattle Surge, and Seattle Surge have just knocked out 100 Thieves from champs. Crazy match. First and foremost, how are you feeling right at this very moment, coming off that stage?
Crazy right now, absolutely crazy. The guys, you know, the loss yesterday was pretty painful. I feel like we had a chance to actually close that series out a few times, or at least be in the series more than we were. And to play against, you know, the defending champs and also our former GM and Brandon Novus, like, it's always something we like. You know, it's a little rivalry, it's fun. But it just felt good getting a win under the belt. Like, it's been a little struggle lately. So getting the momentum going, building up a full head of steam is going to help us going forward into the rest of this COD champs.
It certainly will indeed. It was very spicy, to say the least. I want to talk a little bit about the individuals on the team because, you know, that swing map, that control is always the case, right? But Mack turned up. Let's talk about that A composure that he had there. 0.4 seconds. Mack really did it all at that moment in time. What was going through your head as a coach watching this all unfold on the main stage?
Well, unlike most people, I knew Mack was going to get it done. A lot of people have shown zero faith in the kid. They've done nothing but rip him apart and run his name through the mud. I think that series right there proved it that Mack really is the real deal. He is Mack Melts. He's not some Burger King. He's not some average player. He's a great player, and he showed up when we needed him to the most, and I love that kid to death.
Love that so much. Lastly, really quickly, how are you guys feeling about the rest of your elimination run? How are you feeling about what's left of champs here?
Well, right now, all we're thinking about is what's next. We're not thinking about the rest of the run. We're thinking about what's next, and we'll deal with whoever we play. I'm pretty sure it's OpTic or New York. So whoever we play, we're ready for them.
Love to hear that. Some confident words coming from the coach of Seattle Surge. Thank you so much, and it's back to you guys.
Thank you, Lottie, and great to hear from Phoenix. And we now know Seattle Surge is going to be playing against OpTic tomorrow as New York plays against Toronto in the upper bracket. Here in the elimination bracket, though, Røkkr met up against Boston Breach, and this was supposed to be the Røkkr. Breach coming in with a brand new lineup, and they shocked a lot of folks here in the venue, Allie.
Yeah, unfortunately for Minnesota Røkkr, I think that just came out a little bit too flat versus the Boston Breach, who is, as we know, a very slay-heavy, very high-aggressive team, and they really proved themselves today, and they're playing loose, and you can see it in their gameplay. They're just taking it one map at a time, one series at a time, so they only got one map the day before, and now they have a series under their belt, so definitely not a team to sleep on heading into this elimination bracket.
Keep your eyes on Awakening, having a huge series at COD Champs to keep his team playing on day number 3. Boston powers past the Røkkr, and will be moving into our top 6. Ultra, though, they locked up $320,000 guaranteed with their win over our #1 seed. This is another major upset, 4 over #1. Nameless, you thought this was totally going to be FaZe. They've had Toronto's number all year. What was different this time around?
The teamwork was absolutely on point on the side of the Toronto Ultra. Getting outslayed, still able to get it done. The hard point was just way too clean today, man. Like, Atlanta had no answer for them right out the jump. Atlanta had the good side on Mercado hardpoint, and Toronto instantly make plays to flip that. They get a couple of chain hills in a row, and they dominated them, completely shutting down the opposition on FaZe. And then we get to that next hardpoint, game 4 in Fortress. I'm like, going into it, FaZe is going to dominate this Fortress. We're in the green room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're going to fry them. What happens? FaZe is getting a bunch of meaningless kills.
Simp was on a 10 spree at one point.
I mean, they got those were some big kills for the P3, but after that, like, they couldn't take inside off of the power positions. They lost 2 hills in a row while trying to break the back. Had no success. So Toronto Ultra simply too strong in the fundamentals today.
Toronto clutching up in their hard points all tournament long, looking flawless in that game mode. Atlanta FaZe looking tough as one of the teams to beat, now playing in your your elimination bracket. Tomorrow, we whittle it down to the final 2 teams as we have just 3 matches remaining to find out who is going to be moving forward. But first, it's OpTic versus Surge, FaZe versus Breach, and those are kicking off at 12 and 1:30 p.m. Pacific here. Allie, this is a stacked bracket. It's going to get nutty.
We have 5 matches tomorrow, and honestly, I'm feeling a little bit sad that we're already heading into day number 3, but already we're opening up with so many bangers to start the day.
Big shout out to everyone who tuned in, and of course, all of our collectors. Keep your collection growing if you haven't already with the Upper Deck Call of Duty League trading cards. The 2021 season now available. Scan that QR code today and get your collection started. Thank you all for tuning in. They're kicking us out, so it's time for final thoughts. I'm starting with the 3-time. Clayster, what are you taking away from day 2?
I'm taking away that there is still a lot of great COD to still be played. I mean, what the teams displayed today, everyone is showing how much they want it. They're all fighting these gritty wins, game 5s. Everyone's going through the tough series, and the venue has never been more lit. We are packing this place out. I can't wait to see it tomorrow.
Allie, 6 teams left in the tournament. Who are you most excited to see on day 3?
Man, I don't know if I have one team that I'm most excited to see. Honestly, I'm hoping to see a big bounce back from OpTic Texas. But I'm also excited to see the fans and make sure you stay hydrated. It is hot in Vegas. You guys are lining up at 4 a.m., so make sure you stay hydrated.
Drink your water, use a little bit of chapstick, take care of yourself, and put on deodorant. Nameless, let's talk a little bit about what you see coming up on day 3, because this is our longest day here at COD Champs. 5 matches, including that winner's final and 3 elimination battles.
Listen, I just know I got to get some good sleep, because we might get OpTic FaZe tomorrow at COD Champs, and that would be insane.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for coming out to the Thomas and Mack Center here in Las Vegas. We will see you bright and early for day number 3. It's the Call of Duty 2023 Championship. We'll see you then.
And the beat goes on and on and on and on and on. And the beat goes on and on and on and on and on. Made for millennium. G-O-A, keep time, we don't need you. We the greatest of all, in time you'll believe G-O greatest don't evolve. Happens in the feed. See my gritted jaws, wonder who gon' feed us. Hungry to win, hard pressed to beat us. Hundreds and tens, hard fresh to beat us. Thought I knew men, most of them was divas. I'm more than man, I'm a natural born genius. Where my medal is at, I don't pedal back. I'm too smart to meddle where the fellows keep the metal at. They pedal for the stacks. I'm making benefactors, landlords without the pot to call the kettles black. Hello, I know you feeling mellow. You thinking life is gonna be cinematic as these cellos, but that's just a rumble for the build up like a bellow. If they gon' hear you roar, time to let go.